Well, good evening. Now, I'm considered to be the finest ventriloquist in the world.
Hello?
Now, let's do the nursery rhyme.
Okay. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. Let's hear it for the dummy.
The Kopykats, with guest host Ed Sullivan, starring Frank Gorshin and George Kirby, featuring Marilyn Michaels, Joe Baker, Peter Goodright, and Will Jordan, and also starring Rich Little. Your host for this week's Kopykats, America's premier MC, Ed Sullivan.
Thank you very, very much, gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be on the Kopykats because these talented youngsters are the finest impressionists I've ever heard. And right now, I'd like you to hear some of the fantastic voices these guys do. Could we hear some of those, please?
What do you think? You've got to rock 'em.
Wasn't that terrific?
Terrific.
And during the next hour, we're going to sort them out.
Out?
Out. Is there an echo here?
Here?
Here. Here. I guess not. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Be right back.
You know, Copycats still repeat on you.
Repeat on you.
Legs are here.
Legs, the new super stretch stocking and pantyhose you buy right in your supermarket at the Legs Boutique.
Our legs fit your legs. They hug you, they hold you. They never let you go.
Baggy knees are out. Definitely out.
Our legs fit your legs. They hug you, they hold you. They never let you go.
They did it. They got rid of the wrinkles around my ankles.
Our legs fit your legs. They hug you, they hold you. They never let you go.
Ooh, they fit. All of me.
Our legs fit your legs. Get your first pair of legs at the Legs Boutique today. Stockings, 89 cents. Regular and all sheer pantyhose from $1.39.
Legs are
Right now, George Kirby as Archie Bunker in the big hit of the season, All in the Family. Know something, Will?
What's that, Ed?
You're beginning to bug me.
For you.
I got the news right here. That's why they call it a newspaper, because it's got news.
Yeah, but Archie, the news I got for you ain't in the newspaper.
Why didn't you tell me that before I wasted the time on the paper?
Oh, sorry, Archie.
Okay, Walter Cronkite, give me the news.
What kind of a day has it been? A day like all days, only I was there.
You dingbat, give me the news.
Archie, we got new neighbors.
No kidding, we got new neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be the biggest news since the discovery of the pipe.
But Archie, these are very nice people, very nice.
Fine, I hope they're very happy.
Yeah, me too. Because they had to move from their last home. Oh, it was awful.
No kidding. Noisy neighbors, huh? Probably live next door to a bunch of them spaghetti benders, you know. Kept awake all night, stomping them grapes with their bare feet. You know?
Oh, no, Arch. They
forced to move. What are you talking about? Nobody can force anybody to move from their home. What is this country coming to when a family can't live in peace without a bunch of them creeps driving them out? I mean, a man's home is his castle. That's in the Constitution.
Yeah, and these people are very nice for a Negro family.
A bunch of spades moving next door to us?
Yeah, but Archie, they're very nice. He's very nice. And he plays fullback for the Los Angeles Rams.
I don't care, but, no kidding. A real football player right next door to us, a real star, huh? I'd better go over and welcome him to the neighborhood.
Oh, but Arch, you said...
Edith, when are you going to realize there's no color line in sports? Besides, maybe he can get me some tickets cheap.
That was All in the Family. And now on the Copycats, I'd like to do All in My Family. I have a great many interesting ancestors. The very first time the name Sullivan appeared in history was in the court of Henry VIII. He was a court jester, and his name was Henny Sullivan.
Where's me court jester?
Here I am, Sawyer. Have I got some really big jokes for you?
Make me laugh.
All right. I just returned from London.
Piccadilly?
I certainly did.
Take him away.
Now, around that time, another illustrious ancestor of mine was robbing the rich to give to the poor in Sherwood Forest. Robin Sullivan.
Why is it we always rob from the rich and give to the poor?
Well, very simple, Friar Tuck. I tried it the other way around, but I found out the poor don't have any money.
Now, a few years later, in Shakespeare's time, I had an ancestor who was one of the great actors in London, the Globe Theatre, William Burbage Sullivan.
Believe or not, that is the question. Whether it is needler and mine to shepherd slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Now, wait a minute. What are you picking on me for? I didn't write this junk.
A lot of us Sullivans were seafaring men, and the most famous was the captain of the HMS Bounty.
Now, see here, Captain. The men are on the verge of youth. They think you're a tyrant, a thief, a coward, and a lousy MC. They're complaining about their rations, their quarters, about you and everything else on the bounty. Captain, we're sitting on a powder keg.
If they feel that way now, what's going to happen when we get on the ship? Meanwhile, back in America, my great-great-grandfather, George Washington Sullivan, was one of the most heroic generals in the Revolutionary War. But he's probably best remembered for his famous farewell speech to his troops.
So long, fellows.
Wasn't that stirring? Now, several decades later, a great American Indian ancestor of mine had a great moment in history. Chief Crazy Horse Sullivan.
Chief, I want you to move your people across the river.
Are you saying to me that I must take my people from the lands of their fathers and their fathers' fathers? That we must leave the mountains of the moon and cross the valley of death into the barren lands of the Gila monsters, where corn will not grow and where our women and children will grow old and hungry? That we must leave the graves of our ancestors and journey to strange deserts where the devil will dance on the bones of our dead?
I didn't say all that. I just said you gotta move them across the river.
Oh, okay. And in Hollywood, I'm sure you'll all remember my great-uncle, who was one of the great romantic stars of the silent screen, Rudolph Sullivan. You know, I've always wondered why Uncle Rudolph never made it in the talkies.
Studio politics!
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the rock bottom of my family tree. Me. I'll never forget the night I did my first big television show, Toast of the Town, 25 years ago. Hello, and good evening, America. Now tonight, right here on our stage, we have what I think is one of the greatest acts we've ever had. Last year, Sullivan and myself went to Borneo. And then we come to the rock bottom of my family tree. Me. I'll never forget the night I did my first big television show, Toast of the Town, 25 years ago. Hello, and good evening, America. Now tonight, right here on our stage, we have what I think is one of the greatest acts we've ever had. Last year, Sullivan and myself went to Borneo, where we saw 100 fire eaters performing their ritual act. Now, we've seen fire eaters before, but nothing like this. They sleep fire, think fire, eat fire, and they've been rehearsing all day in their dressing room, all 100 of them. So right now, here they are, the amazing fire eaters of Borneo. What's that? What? We don't have them anymore? Well, right now on our stage... What? We don't have a stage? All right. Right now, tearing down our theater, the entire New York City Fire Department. Let's really hear it for them. Good night, drive carefully.
Very interesting. And here's something else which is very interesting, but stupid.
One ringy-dingy. Two ringy-dingies. And a gracious good afternoon to you. Hello, telephone company. This is Ernestine. Now, I am home on my vacation, and I'm having a lot of difficulty with my phone. I cannot hear the party on the other end.
Well, this is Geraldine, and I'm not on vacation, and I can hear my parties on both ends. Woo! Hear it on both ends. And what you hear is what you get. What's on your mind, honey?
Now, you don't understand. I cannot receive any outside calls. Do you understand that?
What kind of complaint is that? Who'd ever call you?
Oh, now listen, young lady, I will have you know that everybody in customer relations has certain standards of etiquette for whom my bell toils. That was just a little phone there.
Phone for who? Don't you worry, honey. A great big, good-looking, high-stepping, fine-dressing, for the fine-dressing, hairy-headed, unwedded repairman is on his way right now to fix your phone. And he's the lineman for the county. Woo!
Oh, that's wonderful. That is so wonderful. I'm so excited. Très bien. I love the lineman.
Hi, Miss Ernestine. I'm Lee, the repairman, and I've come to fix your instrument. Isn't that wonderful?
Darn it, my bell.
And now, Marilyn Michaels in tribute to two great stars, Fanny Bryce and my very good friend.
Well, she's been on your show many times, Ed, and the initials are B.S.
Oh, yes, Bobby Sherman.
Streisand, Ed.
Oh, right, Bobby Streisand.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Hi. That was a pretty big hit from a movie I did called Funny Girl. It was based on the life of Fanny Bryce. She was some performer. I mean, she was some terrific performer, you know. But a lot of people thought that she was kooky, you know, like a lot of people think that I'm kooky. Well, look, what I'm really trying to say is Fanny sang a lot of terrific songs. And, well, I'd like to bring Fanny back for a few moments. You know what I mean? Okay?
Father has a business with second-hand. Everything from toothpicks to a baby grand. Stuff in our came from forest store. Even clothes I'm wearing, someone wore before. It's no wonder that I feel abused. I never get a thing that ain't been used. Second-hand hats, second-hand clothes. That's why they call me a second-hand rose. Even the piano in the parlor, for about 4 cents on the dollar. Second-hand poils, I'm wearing second-hand coils. I never get bored of the goilies got. Even Jake the plumber, he's a man I adore. Has the nerve to tell me he's been married before. Everyone knows that I'm just second-hand rose from Second Avenue.
You know, Fanny had a lot of fun with that song. But you see, all her life, she was carrying a torch for this guy. And, like, the only way she could kind of get this torch out of her system was on stage, on Broadway. She used to wear a raincoat or a trench coat, whatever you want to call it. It keeps you dry. And she would just, I don't know, she would just pour her heart out in this song. You know what I mean? Oh, my man, I love him so. You'll never know. Oh, my life is just despair. But I don't care when it takes me in his arms. The world is bright. All right. What's the difference if I say I'll go away when I know I'll come back whatever my man is, I am his forever. Takes me in his arms, the world is bright. All right, oh, what's the difference? Do I say I'm so aware when I know I'll come back on my knees one day. For whatever my man is, I am his.
And now, one of television's great new shows, Columbo, starring Peter Falk and this episode's special guest, Joseph Cotton.
Hey, wow. Hey, this is some layout you got here, pal. Some layout. Yeah, this is great. Love it.
How dare you enter my house wearing that shabby, tattered, dirty raincoat?
Wait, I like it.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I'm giving a dinner for a party of 70.
Oh, yeah? Well, he's gonna be late, see? I saw him outside. He's having trouble getting up the stairs.
I'm a very influential man, Columbo. I could have your job.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Now, why would you want my job? Being a cop, that ain't much fun. You know what I mean? No offense. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
What do I mean?
Get to the point, Columbo.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I guess you're aware that by now your wife was murdered this morning.
What has this got to do with me?
Nothing, but we found your fingerprints on her throat, her wrists, and on her ankles. Now, I figured her wrists and ankles might have been a little foreplay, but the throat.
Are you saying that I...
Well, I'm not saying nothing, pal. No offense if I'm out of line. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take you in on murder.
You're not taking me anywhere, Columbo.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, you're not gonna pull that trigger, pal. Now, you want me to tell you why? Huh? You want me to tell you why?
Very well, Columbo. I'll let you play your little scene. Tell me why.
Let's play the little scene. Now, what's the name of this show?
What's the name of it, Columbo?
That's right. Now, you talk. Who's the star of this show? That's right again, see? Now, I'll be back every week. You're a lousy guest star. As a matter of fact, we tried to get Dana Andrews, but he wasn't available. You were number 2 on the list, no offense. The network's got a lot of money tied up in me, and that's why you won't pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Perhaps you haven't heard the news, Columbo. You have been canceled. No offense, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hi, this is Frank Gorshin, doing my impression of Frank Gorshin. Tonight, I'd like to introduce a brand new copycat. His name is Peter Goodright. He does a very unique impression of a very unique star, David Frost. As a matter of fact, he does 2 of them. Watch.
And now, here's David Frost.
Hello, good evening, and welcome. Super to be here. My guest tonight is someone I've admired and respected for years. He's witty, sophisticated, charming, debonair, and intelligent to a fault. And the one guest in the whole world I've always wanted to get on my show.
myself. Ladies and gentlemen, David Frost. Hello, good evening and welcome. How wonderful. Good evening, David. Wonderful to see you. Absolutely super. Good evening, David. Wonderful to see you. Absolutely super. Lovely, smashing, super duper. Fantastic, sensational, super colour, fragilistic, expialidocious. Dum-diddy-dum-dum. Now, David. Now, I'd like to... If I could just... You first. Please, David. Sorry, David. David, now we all know you're a very busy man. What fantastic projects are you undertaking at this moment in time? Well, I must say, David, things are a little slow at the moment. I'm doing 5 television series in America, 2 Hollywood movies, a one-man show at the Bijou Theatre, Hong Kong, a personal appearance at the Moscow Arts Festival, having tea with Mao Zedong, and attending a benefit for President Nixon. Then on Tuesday, I'm dashing off and running around to the whole... You mean you're doing all that in one day? Yes, it's super, isn't it? And when do you get a chance to sleep? During the Nixon benefit? Only joking, Dick. You're a super prez. That's fantastic. Really sensational. Super. You really are amazing. I am, aren't I? Would you believe I was up at 6 this morning, wrote my autobiography on the way to the airport, piloted my own plane 3,000 miles from New York to London, wrote a 14-page letter to Moisha Diane on the way home from the airport, dashed into the studio the very moment this show went on the air. That's fantastic. And where will your next move take you? Straight to the men's room. Super. Where are you off to after that, David? Well, David, I'm throwing a super dinner party at my place tonight for President Pompidou, Golda Meir, the Pope, the Queen, Aristotle Onassis and Agnes Biggs. Agnes Biggs. Who's she? My old elocution teacher. Really? Mine too. She's the dear lady who taught us to say super, fantastic, sensational and amazing. Good night, David. Good night, David. Thank you. Good night. You're welcome.
The Kopykats will continue following station identification.
As you know, there have been many great comedy teams. Martin and Lewis, Smith and Dale, George Burns and Grace Allen, John and Martha Mitchell. But one of the greatest teams was...
Hey, ya bird!
Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, there you are, Lou. Come on over here. Will you stop clowning? Now, when are you going to meet me like you promised? Today?
Yes, today.
What do you mean, yesterday? I want you to meet me today.
Well, didn't you hear what I just said? Yes, today.
Yesterday is gone. It's no good. Now, when are you going to meet me? It's very important. Today, tomorrow, or the day after? When?
Yes, today.
There is no yesterday. It's past. Look, I have no time. If you can't meet me today, then let's do it tomorrow. Now, which is okay with you? Tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's no good. Yes, today.
Yesterday is no good. It's over. Oh, let's forget the appointment. I have to make arrangements for a trip. Did you talk to your wife?
Yes, today.
Not since then? Didn't you see her today?
Yes, today.
I thought you said yesterday.
I did. Yesterday.
Now, when did you say you saw your wife? Today?
Yes, today.
That's not today. Did you see her today also?
Yesterday.
So you saw her today, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Oh, can't you right, for heaven's sake? Don't stand over there.
I'm a bad boy.
I can't rely on you for
I
anything.
want my mama.
Well. Oh, it's time to spank that old Spalding right down the middle. Oh, yes, it's the annual Pebble Beach Clam Bake. Oh, and we've got a beautiful balmy day here to bat that old ball around in, so it shouldn't be a factor. Lots of celebrities out here to give you the play-by-play. What's that? All right. Lee and Jack are putting on 14. And so, to Fred McMurray on 14. Take it away, Fred.
What? We're on the air. You're kidding. Well, I don't hear anything. I just hear myself. Yeah, well, I thought I should be hearing... Oh, hi. Well, folks, it's a lovely day, not a cloud in the sky. We just missed the putts here, but both balls did end up in the hole. That's where they belong, in the hole. Lee and Jack are walking towards 15. I guess we could describe that action for you now. Lee appears to be about 3 strides ahead of Jack. But Jack is moving fast on the outside. Now they both hit the dirt. I guess the vice president must be somewhere in the vicinity taking off. Now over to the 14th, folks, and we're going to pick up the rest of the match from Rod Steiger. What? Oh, this is the 14th. You're kidding. Oh, well, anyway, come in, Rod. Are you sure that this is the 14th?
Listen to what I'm telling you. Lee Trevino is teeing off. And this boy could be somebody. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Every movement is sheer poetry. He is bringing the club back. He swings through and slices it off into the woods. When you bomb, you are nothing. You hear me? You are nothing. Now you take it on 16, Jack. Nothing!
Gee, that Rod Steiger gets carried away. Well, anyway, folks, this is Jack Benny here on the 16th. You see, and you know. And I must tell you that... Did he say Lee shot a ball into the woods? A brand new $3 ball into the woods? Well. Oh, Rochester, come in here.
Yeah, Jack.
Listen, Jack, what happened to Boss?
Haven't you heard? We don't say that no more.
Oh, you silly son. Well, I'm gonna go and look for it.
Jack sure is funny. Come tell me I could play golf, but I'd have to have a caddy. Caddy? Kind of salary he pays me, I can't afford a big car like that. Anyway, golf ain't for me. I'd go broke looking for all them balls. I'm still looking for the bowling ball I lost in the alley the other night. Uh-oh. There's a highway patrol car pulling up on the green number 18. Must be Broderick Crawford. Take it away, Crawford!
All right, Arnold Palmer's lining up his putt. Couldn't be more than a foot away. Seems to be pretty tense, though. Apparently something's making him nervous. Probably some loudmouth in the crowd. Hey, let's keep it down. Keep it quiet. The kid wants to putt. All right, Palmer, putt.
Missus, poor guy. Guess he got choked up. Hey, wait a minute. Arnie's Army. But they're coming after me. Hey, back to you, Bing. Bing, 10-4.
Well, it's time to get out of here. And I see that Spiro Agnew's getting ready to tee off. So until we see you again, so long, folks. Wear the blue.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Dang darn it. Don't tell Dickie, will you?
Good evening. This is David Brinkley in Washington. Tonight we are going to visit America's premier television MC in his really big home. So we take you now to New York City and Mr. Ed Sullivan. Come in, Ed.
Hello, David.
Mr. Sullivan, I thought we were going to interview you in your own home.
That's right. That's right. My home is right behind this curtain. So come on now. Let's really hear it for this lovely dwelling. And now, David, I'd like you to meet my bookcase, my easy chair, and my television set. So let's really hear it for this trio of really big things. David, I'd like you to say hello to my furniture.
Hello, furniture.
Thanks, David. They really appreciate it. And now, right here on my carpet, I'd like to introduce my household staff. They've been with me for 25 years. And I'd like you to meet these youngsters right now. Here they are, all the way from my kitchen. Sullivan servants. Marvelous. Those youngsters have worn out 125 carpets. And I think that's a pretty wonderful record. Now I'd like you to meet a young man who's been with me for most of his life. My son. I didn't meet him until he was 8. He didn't have an act until then. Now let's bring him out here. Ed Sullivan, Jr. Takes after his mother.
Now, you know, I'd like to tell everyone about the really sensational gift that you're going to get me for my birthday Saturday.
What gift is that?
Well, Dad is going to have the entire population of America stand up and take a bow.
What are your dad's future plans?
Well, I'm managing them now. Very soon, we're going to start to work in a fantastic motion picture, which Dad is going to play the title role.
What picture is that? The Will Jordan story?
I do an excellent impression of Will Jordan.
And not only that, but Dad is going to start to work soon in a comedy situation television series in which he's going to play the part of a great, handsome young executive with a 21-year-old wife and 7 children.
Remarkable. What's it called?
Mission Impossible.
Well, Ed, we certainly miss your variety show on television every Sunday night.
He may not be on television, but he still does the show. He does it right here from our home, right here on our park. As a matter of fact, if you drop by this Sunday, you'll see in person fabulous Wilt Chamberlain. He's throwing basketballs into Martha Ray's mouth.
We're also going to have Jackie Gleason in person eating the state of Florida, washing it down with the Gulf of Mexico.
What else?
And also right here on our carpet, 100 sissies qualifying in a new major Olympic event, the 100-meter mince. That's going to be really big. Also, our special guest, Marcus Welby, who's going to examine Dad for an hour. It's going to be really huge. Say goodnight, Dad.
Good night, Dad.
He still got it. Okay, Ramondo, hit it.
Good night, everybody.
Welcome to Los Angeles. This is Jackie Leonard, and I mean that sincerely because you need me also. Oh, well, this is Fat Jack, and I was here to be here as a wonderful press conference here for the Screen Actors Academy, as it was called many years ago. Anyways, know how to do that. And we're here to pay tribute to a great American and a fine fellow, Mr. Spiro Agnew, and I mean that sincerely. He's the Vice President of the United States, and several years ago, no one ever heard of him, and today he's a household word like Drano. Oh, these are terrible things, sincerely. And anyway, he's here to field the questions of the press, and I definitely feel he ought to do a good job, because otherwise he'll have to go back to Baltimore, and the Orioles aren't thrilled with him either, I should probably suggest. And here he is. I think he ought to put his teeth in backwards and bite himself to death. Very nice little fella. I hope he enjoys where he was. Spiro Agnew. Ha, ha, ha.
Building those a lot higher than they used to. Thank you. Before I answer any questions, I'd like to say that there's no truth to the rumor that I hate the press. As a matter of fact, I love the media and the newscasters. Why, just the other day, I had the pleasure of running across Walter Cronkite. I was in my car. Now let's start the questions off with Mr. Oliver Hardy.
Mr. Vice President. Mr. Agnew, I would like to know the truth, and I'd certainly appreciate it if you'd answer me honestly. Would you recognize Red China?
Do I recognize Red China? Oh, I think I would if you showed me a picture of it. They have a lot of shrubs there, don't they? Yeah, I think I would. Next question is from Mr. Richard Burton, I believe.
Mr. Agnew, the press have accused you of being 400 years behind the times. Is that true or false? Please answer quickly, because I am in a hurry. I have an appointment with my tailor.
Well, I realize that the press thinks I'm 500 years behind the times. Well, you know, that's poppycock and hogwash. Poppycock of NBC and hogwash of CBS.
Mr. Vice President, you recently made a trip to Greece.
Yes, I suppose you're going to ask me, what's a Grecian urn? Well, it's about 45 cents a day, I think. Yes, I'm sure that's what it is.
That's an awfully old joke.
Well, that's an old country, Dick. Mr. Burton was just being a little jovial and interjecting a little levity. I inject a little levity wherever I can. I have diabetes. Yes, I have been to my native Greece. And you know, when I was in Greece, they treated me like a king. They exiled me. Now, let's move on. The next question from Bill Cosby. Bill, do you have a question?
Well, let's put it like this. Everybody wants to know, not me, not particular, but everybody wants to know, is it really a fact that you don't like television? Can you comment on that, old buddy?
That's a lie started by the Democrats and the political piranha who would like me out of the administration. As a matter of fact, Bill, I watch television all the time. I'm waiting for Ironside to fall over in his wheelchair.
You meanie weenie old lady. Say, listen, I can see you don't love television. See? So tell me, Mr. Vice President, do you agree with Nixon's appointment to the Supreme Court?
Oh, I do. When it comes to the court, I'm a strict obstructionist, you see. I love this country, right or wrong. I'm usually dependent on the president's last speech. Next question, please.
Mr. Vice President, do you think that J. Edgar Hoover should resign?
Well, absolutely not. I mean, if J. Edgar Hoover resigned, the FBI would fall right into the hands of Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. And that would leave 4,000 FBI men who can't spell the boss's name. This would be a terrible thing. I mean, no man has ever done as much as J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, he captured Dillinger, he captured Babyface Nelson, and he captured Sam Zellman.
Who, may I ask, is Sam Zellman?
Well, nobody knows, but he's been in jail for 32 years. Next question from Mr. Burton again. Dick?
Mr. Agnew! Your children improve your attitude on the youth today.
My children are for me 100%. Marvelous kids. They don't smoke, chew, gamble, and they spend all their time in the outdoors. As a matter of fact, here's a letter I got from them just the other day. I want to read it to you. Dear Dad, the fellas at school asked if you'd send a copy of your last speech. So please try and make sure your next one is.
name's Cagney. Most people call me Jimmy. I'm a tough guy. Now, they say I'm the most imitated star in Hollywood. And maybe that's true. Lord knows I've heard them all. You know, oh, you dirty rat. Uh-huh. See this rod? Means curtains. It's a curtain rod. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. They always had me saying, uh-huh, mm-hmm. I don't know where they got that. Uh-huh. They always made me out to be a tough guy. I suppose it's because that's the kind of guy I always played in the movies. Well, I fell into those roles pretty naturally because of the way I grew up. It's no bed of roses. You're the family breadwinner at the age of 14 on the Lower East Side of New York. Times were tough then. Not just for me, for everybody. I was just lucky enough to get through all right. But I didn't always play bad guys. As a matter of fact, I got an Oscar for my part as song and dance man George M. Cohan, Yankee Doodle Dandy. It was still typecasting because he was a cocky little guy. If I may say, there were some good moments in that picture. Like the scene when he was called to the White House during his run on Broadway in a satire about FDR in a number called I'd Rather Be Right. Mr. President, you wanted to see me. Now, I guess you didn't like the way I took you off in my show. Well, before you start dressing me down, sir, I want you to know that it was all in fun. I mean, there's no more patriotic hairpin in this whole country than me. Don't forget, I wrote Grand Old Flag and Yankee Doodle Dandy. And frankly, Mr. President, I think it's a fine state of affairs when a man who's done as much for his country as I have for mine is called on the carpet for just having a little fun with a man in the White House. What did you say? The Congressional Medal. Me? I don't deserve that, sir. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll cherish this as long as I live. Thank you. Oh, by the way, how did you like the show? Yeah, there were a lot of others, too. Like when I played the captain in Mr. Roberts. Hey, Pulver, you gotta stop putting starch in my shirts. I can't salute the Admiral. I even had a part in Midsummer Night's Dream. Imagine, a mug like me playing Shakespeare. I wasn't too bad. But I guess I'll always be remembered as a gangster. From the time they cast me in Public Enemy #1, where I pushed that grapefruit into Mae Murray's face 40 years ago, I was typed. But I got no complaints. It was a good living and a lot of fun. A picture awfully close to me was a movie called White Heat. That was all my tough guy parts rolled into one. But there was a difference. I was a psychopathic killer with a mother complex. The only thing in the world I loved was my mom. The most dramatic moment on the screen was the scene in prison. In prison, when news had just arrived that my ma had died. The inmates passed it along the cell block till it got to me.
Ma's dead. Pass it along. Ma's dead. Pass it along.
Ma's dead. Pass it along. Ma's dead. Ma's dead. Hmm? Ma's dead. They put me away, Ma. They didn't want me to see you no more, so they put me away. And now they're telling me that you're dead. Well, you're not dead, Ma. You can't be dead. Well, I'm getting out of here. I'll tear this stinking tin can apart. But don't you worry, Ma. They can't keep me in here. I'll get out, and I'll get back to you. And the two of us will be together like it always was. Imagine that, Ma. Right up there. Right on top of the world, Ma. On top of the world. Let me out of here! You screws! Let me out of here! Let me out of
Well, another copycat show has come to an end, but just before we leave, I'd like you all to meet these talented people as themselves. Frank?
Hey, thank you, Ed. It was a thrill having you on our show.
Well, we've had a lot of fun tonight.
We sure had a lot of fun with you tonight, Ed.
Yeah, but some of it has been at your expense, Ed, you know.
But you were a very gracious host, Ed.
And you've been a really great sport.
So good night, Ed, and hope we see you again real soon.
Well, you all will see me real soon tomorrow in court because I'm suing you for defamation of character.
What?
My lawyer will be talking to you right after the show.
So that's right. I'm his lawyer. I'm going to be serving you with a really big writ.
Now cut that. Will, cut that out.
Go to your room, Will.
I've really had a wonderful time here. So good night.